Hello, this is James Potter, the Eggman from YouTube.com, and this is a reply to one of the videos of Way the Master, Satanism Part 2 of 3. And my opinion is, over half the stuff he's talking about, adultery, fornication, lust, all that stuff. I mean, if you take all of that out of life itself, I mean, what else can you really do? To my understanding, over half the street preachers talk about you should live a good, clean life. Okay, what good, clean to you? It might not be so good, clean to me. I mean, something logical, right? Okay, you go take a bath. Do not take a bath like in 2 or 3 weeks. Okay, I think that universally mean dirty. Okay, and that common sense. But I think physically and mostly what not good, clean to you may not be good, clean to me. Like I do not believe a woman should dress up from head to toe, cover her eye, and the only thing you see her eyes. To me, I do not see that as a good thing. No, I see it as a clean thing. The woman could be getting molested, and you don't even know it. You can't see the bruise on her body, anything like that. I mean, you could barely see the bruise off someone who wearing two-piece bikini, let alone a barker or whatever, or like some of the Mormon or some of the Amish or Puritan or people like that. I mean, I got nothing against the lifestyle, but there's just a whole lifestyle kind of backward. Okay, I warn you, making yourself weak by hiding the truth. Okay, not having it on TV is it is not a good thing. Okay, by not having no TV, you do not know that people out there can actually hurt your daughter, kill your son. You do not know what the ladies craze, ladies talk. Um, I mean, nothing wrong with the lifestyle. I admire the lifestyle. They appear to be pretty healthy people. I don't sound like a pervert, but they appear to be the women appear to be very beautiful, natural looking, uh, and beautiful, natural looking, and stuff like that. Their lifestyle produce a very small carving foot blueprint. Uh, if I got that right, and stuff like that. But still, like I say, in their eyes, that might be a good thing, but in my eyes, that's a bad thing. Um, you work your whole life, then you die. I mean, the more to that, uh, I do not think they believe in getting a picture to it. So, I mean, it's just, and anytime you hide something like that, especially, at least by my opinion, from a girl, you actually make that girl want it even more. She never seen pimp before, and don't know how a pimp acts. She might, and she ever encounter one. Uh, and, they have a day where they let the Amish people or Puritan people go out to the English world, how do I say it, and let them experience that and see them want to become with the English, right? And I think they had a special on MTV about that. In my opinion, is with things like it is now, if you're Amish and you go out to the English world, or my saying high tech world, more likely you would be more happy to stay. And, I mean, you all gonna have someone gonna come back and be loyal to the cause. I don't care what you do. You all gonna have someone, all right. You all gonna have blackbirds now to black men. So, I mean, really, I do not care how much hip hop, wherever. I mean, you got some black men just like white women. So, I do not care how big a black woman booty is. Just not into that. Uh, and like I say, and if a Amish girl or Mormon girl encounter a pimp, and you know how a pimp be acting all flash and all of that, she might like him, but in reality, in real life, he's just a boring guy working for the human trafficking trade, just know how to act. Uh, or he's just doing that so he could kidnap her and kill her, get her back to her place, wherever. I mean, stuff like that. Be like me wearing a suit and tie. I mean, I'm not a suit and tie guy. If I work in the office, sure, I might wear a suit and tie at the office, but when I leave the office, I back in stuff like this. I mean, I just can't help it. It's just what I am. So, like I say about Satanism, why here, it's not so much about Satan itself. it kind of like just doing what you want to do. I mean, and to me that sounds like freedom. I mean, really. But I think with freedom or democracy and Satanism, it was like unlogical freedom. You just do what you want to do. Just drink a beer bottle, throw at someone. And again, I could be wrong. And again, that could fall under anarchy. Um, like I said, a lot of things what they might find offenses on the paper stand a couple years ago. And let me you listen to some of this right here. I had to do this.
The story of the prodigal son is a picture of every person before they come to Christ.
Lots of stuff I understand
You and
what
I
you're saying, but
had turned away from God to serve the devil and the pleasures their father was.
But
It's a lie. He speaks of his own, for he is a liar and the father of it.
I mean, how can you say you're gonna go your whole life?
The Bible teaches us that unsaved people live in spiritual darkness. It's as simple as this. If you're serving
you never
sin,
put yourself in a
you're
situation
Satan.
with that temptation. How can you know? How can you really know how true that is to God or to yourself?
You see, our natural appetites are unclean. We desire
pure
food. And if you don't believe that,
solution
just
before you
think
know how
about
pure you really
what
is.
people crave.
I mean,
think of what's in your average soap
water
opera
can
or
be clear,
primetime
it can be
television
polluted,
show.
you know.
It's filled with things like adultery, jealousy, lust, fornication, rape, gossip, greed, or your popular movie today with all of its violence, the filthy language, the explicit sex, and graphic murder.
Okay, you heard that.
Covers of magazines in bookstores and supermarkets, which a few years ago was considered soft-core pornography and hidden from young people's eyes. Think of video games that kids crave. They're
Look, anytime you do anything like that, when you hide something, you make it stronger. Think about when a ninja or a samurai or a soldier come and get you, right? The last thing they want them to do is make themselves uncensored. When you use camouflage, you're censoring yourself, all right? You're hiding yourself. So anytime you hide all of this stuff, adultery, sex, fornication, how do I call lust, all of that stuff, you're making that urge stronger. And what most of you can understand doesn't mean you hide it or condone it. Doesn't mean it don't happen, right? I mean, you condone violence on the movies and stuff like that, but you still gonna have people kill one another. What about people in biblical time? They kill people, cut their head off, all that stuff. I mean, they didn't have MTV, they didn't have VH1, um, they didn't have Playboy, Hustler, they didn't have the war sound or anything like that, right? I mean, they still did it, right? So, I mean, over half the stuff he say right here is what a human made of to a degree, unfortunately. I'm not trying to say a life is made out of bad thing, which unfortunately is, but also made out of good thing too. And it kind of like the old saying go, you cannot have one without the other. And I mean, I wish everything was just straight peaceful. I mean, to some degree, I might be the biggest hippie ever lived, but you got to be a logical hippie. You cannot just make peace all the time and not expecting to fight. Unfortunately, people are going to make you fight now. I learned the hard way. And yeah, people is going to make you fight one way or another. In my opinion, is I mean, just you just can't run for something forever. You gotta stand up to the truth of it. Kind of like the old saying go. When you fight something that got meaning to it. Just don't fight anything. I mean, people gotta get naked to take baths. People gotta get naked to express themselves. Like this image I'm showing you right now. Back in my dad day or in my grandfather day would consider to be X-rated. But as a bad thing or this neutral thing, they start building guns, weapons got stronger, cars got faster, and things just got more. Just you cannot dress her up on woman like biblical time, and like I always say, and you got nuclear weapons. I mean, you just can't do stuff like that. You gotta move along. So, like I said, things got more aggressive, women got more aggressive in the way they show their bodies. You may never be like, you know, uh, back in the filthy Marilyn Monroe style, like this again. Which they do got places you go and you see that. I think Atlanta ranked number 3 or number 4 in the nation of burlesque, and they had it back then. And what you look at right there is a form of belly dancing. You could trace belly dancing back a couple of thousand years. So, like I said, anytime you remove one thing bad, you kind of actually remove something good. And when you remove something good, you remove something bad. Like there was no women's or girls. Okay, that's a good thing, right? But remove that. Well, think about how many kidnaps you would have. How long would the human trafficking trade last if there was no girls, anything like that? So, you know, as you see, more women got more rights to carrying guns and stuff like this start evolving. Back in the 30s and 40s, you might have something similar to this, but then you really start seeing on a large scale until maybe like the 60s or the 70s. It was stuff like tanker and stuff like that. And you cannot just take this right here, okay, let fly airplane, but let still ride donkeys. I mean, it's just can't do that. I mean, we may never go back to the time of riding horses and stuff like that. And for my opinion, hope we don't. And you go about religion, uh, we won't be doing this really. A good part of religion, for the longest. Correct me if I'm wrong. Said technology was the thing of the devil. Yeah, if you go by that, it's just I mean, religion is a book of a ton of contradiction. I mean, I know they don't mean nothing bad by it. I don't mean nothing bad by it, but if you go by strictly religion, you get nowhere. Uh, no offense to anybody, but you can't get nowhere. And like I said, this image right here, back in my dad's time or grandfather's time, would consider to be R-rated. My opinion, from my point of view, I would say PG rated. Sorry, that's just me. You might say totally different. And this shit from DeviantArt.com, and anybody and any kid could go on there and look at it. Uh, so I mean, like I say, kids today grow up much faster now than they ever had to a degree. I think that got started about the 70s to the 80s, back when I was a kid. So I would like to hear about views on that. Like I say, Satanism, all that is, in my opinion, be free and do whatever you want to do. I don't know how that like what you want to do without logic. I thought that would fall on the anarchy. And again, I got to study about this stuff a little bit more before, because there's a book by cover, um, and stuff like that. Tell me what y'all think about any of this. Here's a classic image of Marilyn Monroe back in the day. Like, sorry for the blurriness. I know with this a newer Marilyn Monroe. This not the original one. Uh, Back in the day, I think this was like late 50s, early 60s. I mean, used to be a bad thing, but now it's just like with anything, you gotta advance. You cannot let one grow long and the other grow short. I mean, best keep everything even. And you know, I'm not seeing nudity or anything like that going to end the world anytime soon. So I'm gonna leave this segment with this picture, and I'm gonna try to start a little. Sorry about that. Scratch my nose. Hope y'all didn't see that. I'm gonna try to start a little internet organization called GAG, GAG, Gangster Against Genocide. What it based about as it was basically good gangsters. I don't know that might sound kind of well. In some cases, it's true. Believe it or not, the KKK actually started off as a good thing, if I'm mistaken, but and gangsters did too, to a degree, similar to the KKK, if I'm not mistaken. And with this little group, hopefully I start by the middle of summer or early this fall, um, will be kind of like an activist group against the killer and prostitute, against human trafficking, against over censorship, against oppressing women, stuff like that, against the burqa or burqa, whatever that thing they wear in the Middle East. Um, it support like liberation of women. It kind of like you know gangsters with a good side, I guess I might say. So I'm gonna try to get that running by me in summer, if not no later than early fall. I hope everything go okay. So I'm gonna try to start working on it sometime this week. So like I say, it's just about like you know, for example, a bad gangster might kidnap a woman, use her as a prostitute, then when he get finished with her, kill her, right? Now, like a gag, we might kidnap you, right? Not for real, but a gag might kidnap you. Okay, let's say you got a self-esteem problem or whatever. Uh, you know, uh, we might, you know, give you dance classes, use hypnosis on you in a good way. If you're interested, fatten you up, where it might be. You've been oppressed. Uh, we free you from the guy who oppressing you, stuff like that. Try to do stuff like that. Kind of hard to explain verbally and stuff like that. But I hope you like this segment. I'm going to end it off with this, and please leave a comment and video reply.